talk about discovery here.
Talk about discovery, the biggest problem in game
Well,
development in the games industry.
I mean, here's my question about discovery as someone who's published many games now, or several games. I mean, is discovery a problem, or is people making games for the wrong audience the problem? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it just seems like discovery is a problem that can't be fixed for two reasons. Number one is the storefronts don't allow it, because if you put a game on the PlayStation Store, the people just browse PlayStation to find games to buy. They don't necessarily. I'd have to get data from Sony. I'm not sure how popular buying games. I do it all the time, but how popular buying games from the web links are. But that ecosystem is completely controlled by Sony, who has their own system for surfacing sales and stuff. And then, so like a lot of the discovery is dictated by the store, and we find that press coverage of these things don't move the needle at all. So, how do you fix discovery when a lot of the discovery problems are sort of endemic in the actual store you distribute on?
So we talked to Sony at GDC. They're awesome. Kim, if you're watching this, thumbs up. Okay, let's talk about the sales funnel, right?
Yeah.
Like sales funnel is essentially a weird metaphor. It's a fucking weird metaphor, right? It's leaky. Sales funnel is about buyer's journey. Top of the funnel, people find out about games. Middle of funnel, they're like, I want to find out about this game. I'm going to write, read reviews. I'm going to talk to friends about it. I'm going to watch streams about it. Bottom of funnel, you're ready to buy. You hit the button, you buy. Every platform, and this is something that I don't think a lot of developers understand. And having worked at Valve, I understand more now than I did 5 years ago. Platforms are bottom of funnel. Their purpose is to allow gamers to purchase games that they know about and to play them and to share them with friends, right? So Steam, let's talk about Steam in particular.
Right.
I worked on Steam for a while.
Which I feel is the best store when it comes to all those things.
It is the best.
I feel
store
that nothing
for
else
all
is even
things.
close.
It's like the Winston Churchill quote: "Democracy is the worst form of government, except for all other governments that have been tried from time to time." That's Steam.
I don't even think Steam is the worst. I think Steam's pretty good.
No, but it's the best
Yes.
of all. But the quote is important. Democracy is the worst form of government, except for all others that have been tried from time to time. Steam, and I love Valve. Steam is the worst platform, except for every single other platform that has been tried from time to time. But platforms are bottom of funnel. They ideally expect their users to already know about games, right? If you go to a Steam page, if you go to a Nintendo eShop page, if you go to an App Store page, PlayStation, they are going to show you things that are like the bottom floor of an IKEA. It's like back of the box stuff. It is available for $9.99. $9.99. Sorry, I'm slurring my words. And these platforms are already expecting you, the consumer, to know about these things, and they're really, really great at converting. They're really bad at informing consumers about new products, because that's not their job. Their job is to do the bottom of the funnel stuff, right? The top of the funnel stuff, the awareness stuff, is handled by press, decreasingly. Sorry, Polygon, rock, paper, shotgun. I love you. I want you guys all success, but I think gaming press is undervalued. Social media, right? People talk about games, right? So all this awareness has happened outside of Steam, PlayStation, eShop, et cetera, and by the time you get there, you know about a game, right? So they don't want to solve top of funnel. They want to solve bottom of funnel, and they do a good job of that.
Yeah, but it's funny because the top of funnel stuff, they still make an attempt, right? Like, I find in my experience, my best sales are Steam and Switch. And it's funny because Switch is a store that's extremely, well, actually the new Switch 2, they've done some amazing,
they've done
amazing changes to it.
Yeah.
You can look at your wish list and it'll tell you which wish list games are on sale, which is amazing.
Yep.
Of course, something Steam already had, but whatever. But it's kind of funny because Steam, very elaborate store, most of our traffic comes from inside Steam.
So that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's an ecosystem
Yeah.
problem. That is not a Valve problem. Valve is trying to help you with
Yeah.
that, right? So here's the problem with that. Steam is the back of the box. You go to the store and you see the back of the
Yeah.
box, and ideally you already know about the game before you're going to purchase it. But TikTok, Twitter/X, Blue Sky, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. I said TikTok twice.
Yeah.
Are like they're supposed to solve the problem of knowing your games before they come into Steam, but they don't. So Steam comes along and they're like, holy crap, nobody knows about 99% of these games. Let's try to solve that problem. But then they give you this back of the box experience, this bottom store, basement IKEA experience where like, if you go to the Steam page, and I'd like you to do that right now, they will show you like for many AAA games, they will show you like 8 options for buying the game.
It's so
right?
confusing.
And they're like, okay, and then here are the languages that it's in, and then here's the latest updates. And that's not first time ambassador to your game. Like, if you don't know about a game, you want this gorgeous flyer about a game that's like, hey, this pinball game is going to change it. And I say pinball because I know you from pinball.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to change your life. Here's the way that it's awesome, right? I mean, here are all the the high points that are like, I'm going to sell you like a band flyer or something like that. And Steam doesn't do that because it is not their job. But nobody else does that job. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I feel like one of the problems is, I feel like Steam, like they should have a mobile app, but it's not very mobile, right? It looks like Steam on the desktop, and I just kind of feel like your mobile store should look like TikTok.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you should be able to swipe left to right on games. It should just be constant.
Ralph, have you seen
trailers.
WeLoveEveryGame.com? That's us.
I have seen you post about it, but I haven't looked at it yet.
We're working on it.
Oh, okay, right, okay. Is it publicly available? Can we all look at? Okay.
We're very slowly rolling out. We're in a stealth mode.
But the problem is none of these stores have easily usable widgets to allow you to convert from a social media post to a sale. You still have to open up the app and buy the game. The distance between social media traffic or attention and a sale is so great that in many cases it also doesn't work too well.
Absolutely, but it's even worse than that. So, depending on whom you talk to, the number of times you have to talk about a product before somebody is sort of like, oh, that's interesting, is like 3 to 7 times, right?
Yeah.
It's like, here's a new shoe, here's a new shoe, here's a new shoe, 3 to 7 times. So that's top of funnel, that's sort of awareness stuff. And the problem is even more dire, even simpler than you're saying, is there's not a lot of content that just says, here's a game for you, here's 10 games for you, here's kind of like in 3 bullet points, here's a really, really rough idea of why they might be interesting to you, so that you can let it sort of like waft across your brain, right? When's the last time you went to an ice cream shop?
Like yesterday?
Yesterday, right?
A couple days ago.
Did you taste any flavors?
I don't believe in that.
You don't believe in that?
I'm like, listen, you're buying ice cream, you're not buying a car. Just buy the ice cream.
Shit. I love it.
Just buy the fucking ice cream.
Okay, so most people will take samples.
Yeah, and that's when I walk out of the store. If I see somebody in front of me taking more than 2 samples, I'm out. Shouldn't be allowed.
At an ice cream shop, you can take 3 samples.
But actually, you know what? Not to interrupt you, this actually relates to a question.
Yeah.
Because my philosophy of why I hate ice cream samples. Like, how much research do people do on a $9 purchase of a game? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
gosh, you're right.
And that's why I hate these people with ice cream samples.
Ice creams cost $6.
But are people?
You're in LA, it might cost $9.
Yeah, probably. But are people ice cream sampling? Like most people probably want 4 samples to scrutinize a $4.50 purchase. So you do need to give people that many tastes to figure out if they want to buy a game.
So consumers are weird, right? Like Starbucks coffee costs $6.
Yeah.
Right? And you just do it. A game costs $6, and you're like, do I really want that? Different mindset.
Yeah.
But if you can give people a taste of things, like a little tiny taste of a game, right?
Yeah.
in a way that is lower friction
Yeah.
than the eShop, PlayStation Store, App Store, Google, etc. Even Steam, whom I love. Guys, I love you, but you can do a better job. And it just gets in your brain. You're like, you know what? I like a roguelike deck builder like Million Launcher Militia. It's in my brain. I don't want to buy it yet. And then you see it a few times, and then you're like, okay, I'll do more research on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, but going back to one of my original points, though, it's still hard to close the sale from the social media stuff. And it's kind of funny because I feel like, I don't know if it's Steam's responsibility or whoever, but, at one point, I was talking to Snapchat, or I was talking to somebody there about, I want a widget. I want a widget where if I could post a snap of my game, you click the button and you can buy it inside Snap.
Yep.
All these apps like TikTok, whatever,
Yeah.
have monetization. You can buy stuff inside Instagram. You can
Yes.
buy shirts, and you
Yeah.
never leave the Instagram
Yeah.
app.
Yeah.
And that functionality needs to be built into all these game stores where you can buy, games on the PlayStation Network without going to the PlayStation Network. You can click a button on the reel on Instagram and buy it. But that means you got to force Meta to build that functionality.
Right. I agree with you. However, I think before we do that, what we can do is just raise awareness.
Yeah.
There are literally tens of thousands of games on Steam that have 90% positive user reviews, but have sold so poorly that their studios can't be in business anymore, right?
True, but this kind of goes back to one of my original questions: is it the right game for the wrong audience? I mean, Steam has an audience that likes a certain kind of game, and if you make a game that they don't like, they're just not there.
Steam has 130 million users.
That's not that many people, though, if you think about it.
That's a lot of people if you think about it, man. Come on, that's do you know how many hidden object cat games there are on Steam?
I don't know. I'm sure.
Yeah. They're hundreds.
Sure.
Now I gotta come up with the number. I don't remember off the top of my head.
We can,
so Steam caters to a lot of audiences. I mean, they're definitely mid-core, hardcore.
But I mean, there's how many people are on Facebook now? 3 billion people on Facebook, and there's
billion on
150 million
right.
people on Steam.
Yeah.
It's just not that many people. It's still a narrow demographic.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Which is why we'll eventually, branch out from Steam to console, mobile. I want to do books eventually.
I mean, my experience with console is the attach rate's extremely low. People buy consoles to play 2 games. They play Fortnite and 2K,
But
and that's it.
I mean, they do that for Steam too. Most Steam users play
But I feel Steam still has a bigger user base of people that are voracious game consumers than consoles.
Absolutely, but a good percentage of Steam users
Oh, I'm sure.
own.
Yeah.
Yeah.